We have some crazy news to discuss today as a recent report has linked the Toronto Maple Leafs to Connor McDavid and has highlighted how William Nylander and the current contract situation with the Leafs could relate to them possibly acquiring Connor McDavid. So you're going to want to stay tuned for all that, as well as Sheldon Keefe. He has called out his team following another disappointing loss. So stay tuned for all that. But before we dig into it, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. 80% of you guys who are watching right now are not subscribed. So scroll down. If you're not subscribed, hit the button. It would mean the world to me and everyone else here. So thank you. And let's get right into the first topic of today's video. Now, this is crazy. There's a lot of prefacing to do, but the Leafs are linked to Connor McDavid. Now, this comes from a report from Hockey Buzz. They have some sources. They're followed by a lot of reputable guys, but I do want to premise this by saying, take this with a grain of salt. Take the report with a grain of salt. This is a bit outlandish. Do I think the Leafs are going to require Connor McDavid? I don't think so, but it is an interesting thing to discuss, especially given the current William Nylander situation. So take this as from speculation, a bit of fun. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are, but it is a real report, and this is from Hockey Buzz. It says, there is also no secret about the Maple Leafs' desire to bring home Connor McDavid. A source told me this morning that part of the problem in signing William Nylander long-term is the possibility that McDavid becomes available. Everyone would be in play, the source continued, but adding McDavid would be impossible if William Nylander were to exceed $10 million a year. So this is wild. So we're all very familiar with the William Nylander current situation on how his value has only skyrocketed. The Leafs were hoping to get him between 8 and 9 million, and now it's looking 10 to 11 to 12 million, depending on how he continues to play and things like that, and how much his value is going up. His point streak obviously got snapped in yesterday's game against the Blackhawks, but that aside, this is very, very interesting. Now, Connor McDavid's obviously one of the best players in hockey, if not the best player. He's off to a bit of a slow start this year, but it's no, he's Canadian. He loved the Leafs. It was his favorite team growing up, according to some articles and according to what he said. If the Leafs are really trying to get Connor McDavid, then, it does make a little bit of sense that they hold off on the William Nylander extension. That being said, if I'm Brad Treliving, I do not hold my hopes out that we are going to either sign Connor McDavid in 3 years or potentially make a blockbuster trade for him and then not sign William Nylander or extend William Nylander because of that. Now, this is worded in an interesting way to where you can either think of it as, extending him or signing him, in 3 years once he is a free agent, which is, again, 3 years from now. But where it says everyone would be in play, you're thinking now about a potential trade for Connor McDavid, and then you obviously extend him into his, 30s, late 30s, whatever that is. Now, if you're going to make a trade for him, it would probably be one of, if not the biggest trade in NHL history. You're looking at Marner plus, maybe Matthews. They probably keep Matthews, but Marner plus. This is not even a trade regarding Connor McDavid. It's not even something that I even want to get too far in depth in. You can leave in the comment section below what you think a potential trade for McDavid could look like. But if they're thinking, the report is just wild to me, that if you're thinking, they're holding out some hope that they could either acquire Connor McDavid. We all know the Edmonton Oilers are in a horrible spot. They fired their head coach. Now they're plummeting downwards. No one's happy. There are rumblings of a Leon Draisaitl trade coming. The team is in a spiral, and I do not think they trade probably the best player in the last 10 years in Connor McDavid. But if they do want to trade him, the Leafs will be probably one of the number one teams in on him, simply because they have the assets, in theory, with the NHL-ready players, if the Edmonton Oilers want to kind of retool. And then it goes on to say, what do you think it would take to get either, or do you think the Leafs should hold off on signing and committing long-term to Nylander until they know exactly what is happening with Connor McDavid? Again, highlighting the fact that he could be traded. Maybe the Oilers want to trade him and retool, and we would have Marner plus a ton of other players to give up. But again, this is such a weird situation. I'm of the camp that I just want to re-sign William Nylander. He has proven to me that he is a very, very valuable player. It would probably cost more than $10 million, but do that and then figure out the rest after, unless they truly believe they have a very, very good chance in whether either trading or acquiring signing in 3 years Connor McDavid. And the front office would know that better than anyone else. But I don't think, especially if it's not a trade and it's a signing in 3 years' time, you can bank on that, because tons of things can change in 3 years. And if you're talking about a potential trade, makes a bit more sense. But I still don't think that the Leafs are going to do this. I think they should re-sign William Nylander, give him an extension, and still hold out and still keep your eye on the Connor McDavid situation, especially because he's Canadian. The Edmonton Oilers are in a spiral. He's a Leafs fan. But I don't know. It's a bit of a wild report, but again, he's followed this channel or this Twitter that tweeted this out by a lot of reputable reporters: Frank Zavarli, Pierre LeBrun, Darren Dreger, Bob McKenzie, Dangle. So I don't know. Who knows what the legitimacy is of this report? I'll leave that up to you guys to speculate, but I just wanted to throw this out there because it's a very, very interesting twist in the William Nylander contract situation and does give a little bit of information on why potentially the Leafs haven't signed William Nylander. Although I don't think this is the reason, it could potentially relate to it in a few ways. So very interesting. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on that. And I did not think I would be talking about a Connor McDavid to Toronto Maple Leafs, at this point of the year. But I digress. Let's move in now to the second topic now. Sheldon Keefe calls out the team. Now, yesterday's loss against the Blackhawks were horrible. We had a 2-goal lead. We gave it up. We had a 1-goal lead. We gave it up. The too many men in the ice penalties. I think we're at 7 or 8 or 6. It's somewhere in that range now, and we are the worst team in the league for him. And Sheldon Keefe did not hold back. Sheldon Keefe on the Leafs continued too many men on the ice penalties. I've lost patience. How will he address it? I've addressed it. This is a thing that yesterday's loss was absolutely horrible. It was very, very brutal. We obviously got 1 point out of it, losing in overtime, but against the Blackhawks, we were on a big losing streak. The Leafs were on a winning streak. Coming back from Sweden, vibes were good. We got Connor Timmins back. Obviously, the Klingberg stuff is unfortunate. Sheldon Keefe had enough of the too many men in the ice penalties. We saw them take another one in yesterday's game against the Blackhawks, and now Sheldon Keefe, like I said, he was fed up with it. He said he's addressed it. He's lost patience for it. Who knows what that means? I'm assuming he's called out his team privately, but this is an issue that is going to continue to plague them if they do not fix it very, very soon. We cannot have too many men in the ice penalties, and especially against a team like the Chicago Blackhawks. They have a lot of young talent. They obviously have Connor Bedard, probably the best rookie, or one of the best rookies this year. You cannot let teams like that, these younger, at least their core of stars is younger, beat the Toronto Maple Leafs team, who are going and attempting to be Stanley Cup contenders, Stanley Cup champions, whatever you want to be with that. They need to be better. The Leafs need to be better. And Sheldon Keefe agrees with it, and he just continues to call out Mitch Marner needs to be better. He's been horrible. Everyone needs to be better. And if you're going to continue to take too many men in the ice penalties, you need to do some sort of swap up. Change the guys who are, causing the penalties. There's clearly a lack of preparation, a lack of miscommunication. It's becoming really, really unfortunate, really, really hard to watch when you're going out there and you're getting these penalties and just, hurting yourself, hitting yourself in the foot every single game. If you keep shooting yourself in the foot, then eventually you're going to get caught up in the mess and lose a game like this, a very, very winnable game against the Chicago Blackhawks, which is very, very unfortunate. But at the end of the day, what we're going to do about it, hopefully Sheldon Keefe can continue to address this behind closed doors. And it's very, very unfortunate, especially in a loss yesterday where it was the first time all season that at least one of Matthews, Nylander, Tavares, and Marner didn't score for the Leafs. We obviously had contributions from Nick Robertson, Ryan Reeves, and all those guys like that. So it's very, very interesting and a bit unfortunate that the Leafs were managed to lose that game yesterday. And one quick final thing is I just want to give a quick shout out before we wrap up the video to Nick Robertson. He has been unbelievable. That third and fourth line has been very impressive. We even saw Ryan Reeves' goal yesterday. I just wanted to point how big Nick Robertson has been for this team. I made a video before I called up a few weeks ago highlighting how important he could be. And now it seems like he's an integral piece to this third and fourth line. He's blending them all together. He's scoring goals when we need it. And if we can get Mitch Marner and some of those other guys going, then we'll be in very, very good shape going forward. And as bad as the loss was yesterday, there's still hope because in a game that you obviously, none of your stars were playing well at all, Nylander, Tavares, Marner, Matthews, we still managed to keep it close, almost win the game. Close doesn't matter, but it does matter in the sense of the third and fourth line is really showing what they're capable of and have been very, very good in a time where that, Nyes and Matthews line has not been good whatsoever. So that'll wrap up the video. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on the crazy McDavid rumors as well as Sheldon Keefe. And stay tuned. We'll have another video for you guys tomorrow.